GM, GM. Can you hear me? How do I sound? Let's fix this right now. Test, test. Hello, hello. You guys hear me? Yeah, a little mic switching happening on right now. GM, all 18 of you. How do I sound this morning? Is my voice back? Excellent. Nice.
Hey, bro, can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time. I was just playing another games. Huh. I'm back, bro. Aavegotchi again.
What were you playing?
I was playing Boomland. You get daily hunts, so their new season just started. So I was just jumping in and playing a quick hunt because right after we're done with the meeting, I have to do like another 30 of them.
Oh, are you obligated to do that? Or are you just addicted
No,
at
it's
this
just like
point?
it's just like with the way they play the game, you have to your character like my legendary character gets 10 hunts, meaning I can go out and fight 10 battles. Each battle is like 2 or 3 minutes. And then its energy's done for the day. So I have to wait till the next day. But they just restarted. I think this is season one. They had season zero just end. So now the stats count towards like prizes and stuff. So it's like, a leaderboard type thing. So I've been trying to play a little bit more.
Oh
Hey
But
shit.
Tim, can
usually
you hear
they
me?
reset for me around this time because I do them during GMD gens.
Mhm.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
Sounding good.
GM.
GM.
Hey,
Welcome
how's
everybody.
everyone doing? Yep.
Doing great. I was spending the last 2 weeks in the woods, so that was interesting, and kind of just
Just like
touching
hunting,
grass for
getting
2 weeks.
berries out there, surviving in the wilderness.
Yeah, we got a pretty good setup collecting things over the years, and I'm a huge fan of camping. I could probably just camp forever, honestly. I don't think I need like a house. But it was good. It was good to take that 2 week break. We're out by a lake, so spend some time on the water, and now feeling super fresh, invigorated with some really great ideas. So,
Awesome.
how's your week been, sir?
Busy, busy, busy. Had to catch up on a lot of stuff after getting back from all the IRL stuff the week before, and yeah, some big ships in the pipeline for next week. So it's going to be a pretty exciting little week for Pixelcraft and the Aavegotchi community. We got a little bit of yeah, new. I would not the new V2, but V2 getting a new coat of paint for sure. It's gonna look very nice. Big UX improvement for everyone. So looking forward to finally getting that shipped.
Oh man, I was just
And
admiring the landing page the other day because I had to go on and check up on my gotchis, and
right,
I haven't been to the landing page in a little while, and really just spent time on the landing page going through all the stuff, and it is crispy, man. I just kind of like took the perspective of someone new coming to Aavegotchi for the
mm-hmm.
first time, and it just like has everything you kind of need to know right there, and even if you don't like to read, it's very like visual, so
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah, we
nice.
actually had to take a few things out of that weren't they were kind of half baked by the time we finished it. So want to get those back in as well. There was a nice part where we had a quote from Sandeep and a couple other crypto people, kind of like in the space, kind of social proof, like Gotcha
Hmm.
Gang, are the
Yeah,
OGs, all that stuff. We had to take that out because it wasn't quite done yet, but need to get that back in. That's always nice to see that, and a couple other things too. But we won't get those in this week, but those will be definitely be nice to keep working on that landing page because yeah, I think it is quite a nice experience to come on and land on that landing page and kind of it's so hard to explain Aavegotchi in like one page,
totally.
but did our best.
Well, I was reading this thing on innovative toys through history, and it's like all the innovative toys that came out, like people really had a hard time like explaining like what it is. Like when Lego first came
Yeah,
out, people were like, "What is this? This is like bricks. Like what do you do with this?" And now Lego is like the coolest shit ever. So,
Yeah,
it takes time.
yeah, yeah. China, it really is. Well, China, when I got it down to almost a science when we were in Denver, because we had that really nice video. I don't know if we've actually posted that video on Twitter yet. It's a really nice video. Very, very helpful. Basically, it was just all four or five of the different games that are being created right now. And I would just point to it and be like, Aavegotchi is an NFT, but it's also a gaming NFT like ecosystem. So it's like we got the NFT part and we got the gaming ecosystem over here. So it's a gaming platform. And then I could point to the games and basically be like, so do you like gaming? And if they said yes, then I could, go down that path a little bit more and talk about, show them the different games that we have. If they don't like gaming, well, it's like, well, do you like, collecting art? And then we talk about fake gotchis. So it was cool to have that video and also just starting from basically this dichotomy of Aavegotchi, which is we're not only an NFT and we have all the cool NFT stuff, but we're also building this huge ecosystem of games around this single IP, which is pretty unique in the space. I think the only ones that are really also doing that is kind of like Axie, where they have like new games that are being built on top of Axie as well. So it's really just ourselves and Axie in the space doing this kind of single IP gaming ecosystem.
Yeah, I read a really good
Yeah, I'll
book.
say.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oops. No, I was gonna say I'm excited for. I got a sneak peek. I got to talk with Jason Slama this week for the devlog that's coming
Yeah.
out this week, and he showed me some stuff, and I was like, it looks great. Like I'm very excited, and we had a good conversation about just all things from that end. So I just feel very confident after seeing and watching and hearing him speak. His
Mhm.
expertise and his just he knows what he's doing, and just the level of care that he's put into all the little
Dude,
details is like amazing.
it's yeah. I watched that video, and I mean, I feel like we haven't done a proper introduction to what Gotchi Guardians actually is. So I think this video actually serves as a pretty good, like the demo he did in that video is a pretty good introduction to what Gotchi Guardians is going to be. But I'm curious, were there things that you're still not clear about on what Gotchi Guardians is? Because I feel like we need maybe an explainer video or some sort of like TLDR on exactly what the game is. Um, but maybe this video serves that purpose. I don't know.
I think it serves that purpose. Like
Yeah.
when he was going through concepts and showing me art, and then he got to the demo of the play, and I understood what it was. Because before it was kind of like this. I don't know. I'm a visual learner, so seeing it, it's a tower defense game. Seeing him set up the tower, seeing it actually go live, watching like 8 other AI players go at the same time, and getting like just him kind of being a wizard while he's doing it. Uh, Made perfect sense. It's like he was explaining the meta, like the best way to win. Most people go the wrong way, and like the build of the economy in that sense. And it was very enlightening because like for tower defense games, I would normally build up my defenses as much as possible, and that's not the optimal
Yeah.
approach to this game. So
Mm.
I could see also because we're watching. I got to look at the game mechanics, but I could see very easily how certain integrations into blockchain technology will work for this. Without making this too restrictive for like basically normies, like to come
Yeah.
in and say, "Hey, this is a cool, fun game loop." I don't even care there are NFTs involved, but wait, there are, and
Hmm.
I think that natural curiosity will lead to good things for us.
Yeah. I mean, he comes from obviously a very successful uh, development of The Witcher and Gwent, and he just wants to bring all the knowledge that he's gained from that experience over to Aavegotchi. And sometimes NFTs are amazing. Sometimes they can kind of get in the way of adoption. So he wants to make sure that first and foremost, we're building this game that's fun and it's going to be kind of non-crypto friendly. But yeah, there'll be some gotchi pills for sure throughout the gameplay.
That's
Yeah, it looked
awesome.
good. It looked really good. I just, especially the demo, because I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting concept drawings or maybe light
Mm,
videos, but like little details, like I'll give this away because people have seen it, but the way the raffles are tossed off of the
yeah.
little lily pad is just, it's epic. And then you can level up all the way to godlike, and the skill set increases. So he's like, it's a great video. It'll be out in a couple days, I believe. We're just waiting on music for it. But yeah, it was it. Uh, I was impressed.
Cool, man. That's great to hear. Yeah.
I'd love to also ask, and first of all, GM everyone, but where is the arena ranks now on the priority of the game development studio? I know that Guardians is the priority right now, but are there any new features being incorporated to the arena anytime soon?
Yeah. Have you followed the latest like devlogs? Because I wouldn't say Gotchi Guardians is like the priority. There's actually there are two teams working in parallel with each other. We got the Gotchiverse team led by Andy Tudor, and then we got and that includes the arena and the like the 3D Gotchiverse, and then you got Gotchi Guardians led by Jason Slama. So they have two teams, two game directors, two kind of budgets for their team, and pretty independent of each other. Although there are a lot of sharings between them, especially on the like the 3D asset side, because we are still in the process of converting everything to 3D, and so that process we want to make sure that the assets are interoperable between both of those games and then any other 3D games. Uh, so yeah, the arena is actually progressing quite well. We're gonna have videos in the upcoming dev update that we tweeted a couple days ago, and I would say it's coming along very well. Very different from the current arena that we have, and I think it's different in a very good way.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I actually heard about the two teams working the different products separately, but for some reason, whenever I hear about the Gotchiverse, I don't think about the arena
Mm.
necessarily. Maybe it's my that's my fault, but yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, share. Yeah, the assets will eventually be open source once they're all complete, and yeah, anyone building a 3D gotcha game will be able to use these assets.
I will say I was impressed because talking with Slama, I didn't realize, like, I too didn't realize. I knew they were separate endeavors, but they were separate teams entirely. And his team is pretty small. And to see the jump from last month to this month, from like this full, like, the concept, and you see some small videos to like a full match played out, and like just being able to observe all the other players live, like going into the other
Yeah,
player. And I don't want to give away too much, but like for such a small team, I was very impressed.
I mean he is he's crushing it. He's really moving the needle every single day. He's putting in pretty long hours, and our goal is to have this game, both of these games, demoable in a good state by SmartCon, which is the beginning of October. Because we're going to be doing an event there with Chainlink, where we have a booth. We'll have like 4 or 5 gaming computers set up, and the idea is that this is when we can actually show these games off and watch people play them for the first time in real life, which will also it'll bring its own learnings as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's coming out so soon. And just to add to what you said previously, Carter, Dan, Axie is not a single IP. They actually have a lot of different game developing companies that are coming out
Mm,
with completely
right.
different IPs. So I think that that's actually good for Gotcha Chain because it's a very unique approach. It's honestly the first. I think it's the first chain that is coming out only around a single IP.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other.
Yeah. Yeah, like Gala Games and Treasure DAO, they're all focused on being a platform, and that's what we want to do as well. But we're a platform focused on a single IP, which I'm always a believer of focus and honing in on doing one thing right, or doing one thing and focusing on that. So focusing on one IP, I'm sure some people think it's risky. It might be risky, but if done right, I think it could be huge. I'm sure we'll
Yeah,
have
100%.
you know, we within our IP we have a couple different characters. We got obviously the Aavegotchis, we got the liquidators, we have the raffles. Each of those could be, you know, spin-offs. It's like imagine Seinfeld where they had like the spin-off of, you know, Elaine Elaine's story, which that was not very successful, so it's probably not a great example. But you could totally have you know, different spin-off games around these different characters.
Maybe an interesting comparison would be World of Warcraft. Yeah, World of Warcraft was always around a single IP, and over time they were
Yeah.
releasing those extensions that were, very different from each other.
Yeah, it looks good. And like, even in the in Gotchi Guardians, there are inclusions of new characters that are part of the game itself. That they fit
Yeah.
well. Like, I just like the way that Slama is like kind of approaching it, because if you get to watch the Gotchi in a little armor running around fighting and like trying to avoid these liquidators and these spinny tops, all these different enemies, and you have your defense. It just looked really cool.
Yeah, it's we're trying to get that perfect blend of like being strategic while also not having to like press, you know, not like being a little bit AFK, but still present and active in the game, but not having to like smash your keyboard or phone every second. Letting the gachi do its thing while having more of like the overall strategic perspective where you don't have to be as active. So, because people always say like, you know, the Gotchiverse arena looks great, but I want kind of like a more low key game. And I think this game is, I wouldn't really call it low key, but it definitely is a bit less like player intensive. You don't have to, you can strategize more and kind of doesn't require like the mechanical proficiency that a game like the arena would.
Yeah, it's much more strategic round by round, wave by wave. But if you're playing, depending on how, because Slama was explaining it, like you're playing all these other players. So depending on what you set up for your enemies, like the things that are attacking you, they also get set up for your
Yeah.
other players. So if they have an inefficient strategy for their towers, you can, like, if you're checking through them, you could screw them over. So it creates this, like, it becomes very dynamic. And when the gameplay was going and like all the attacks were happening, it got intense. Like, it just
Yeah.
see the guy running around hoping that this like Raffle is gonna have his back essentially.
Basically, yeah, you have to like run around with your gachi and think about. He hasn't even started focusing on the gachi buffing part, which is going to be the third aspect of the game. It's like right now you've seen the tower buffing, you've seen the liquidator buffing, but he hasn't actually included anything about the gachi buffing, which is like helping your gachi survive. And so that's like a third aspect of the kind of like the final aspect of Gotchi Guardians, which will be, I mean, maybe you just want to make your Gotchi into a super tank and you don't even want to build any towers. You just think like, I'm just gonna make my Gotchi so powerful that I only need a few towers. So that could also potentially be a viable strategy that's going to be that's currently not really featured yet. Right now, the Gotchi, you're just kind of running it around, trying not to let it die, but eventually that Gotchi will become more powerful.
Yeah, see, a level up system too would be really cool.
Yep, yep. Well,
Something
what I
that
do if I see a lot of the fake auctions coming in, if we got a little bit of time, I would love to bring Intarja Mike onto the stage here. And I know we got a lot of fakes, so it's a
Yeah.
good. I think it's a good time.
Nice.
Get Intarja Mike. Let me see if he is around here because we got something special coming for you guys today. Very very special. This is going to be Coder Dan, myself's first fake Gotchi. And then it's also Intarja Mike's first fake Gotchi. And I believe it's also the first Intarja NFT that's ever been created in the world. So lots of historic moments here. Let me see if he can come up on stage here.
Oh man, this is awesome. Meeting the man live.
So quickly, is this going up
All
to
right.
GBM auction?
Yeah. So today is the Q day. Let me find the picture that I dropped the other day. And I'll just drop that again here for everyone to see. So we are summoning coder Intarsia Mike. Intarsia Mike has arrived. You want to say hi, Intarsia Mike?
Hi guys.
GM. Good morning.
Good morning.
So first question, what is Intarsia? I'm just showing the picture that we got. So today is a special day. We're going to be putting this piece into the queue. So that means you'll be able to see the thumbnail and also see the video of the piece, which is quite a cool little video that we put together. So here's the official timeline and kind of the auction info for you guys. Just drop the picture here, so take a look at that. And then yeah, we got Intarsia Mike here. If anyone has any questions, while we're taking questions, I'm going to go ahead and put this piece into the queue.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's check the chat here first and see what questions are coming in. I do have a question myself for Intarsia Mike.
Okay.
I have a question as well.
Yeah, friends, ask your questions. Intarsia Mike, my question is, these pieces are incredibly beautiful and intricate. Coder Dan has spoken about some of the elements and the skill that goes into this, and he showed some of the really unique wood grains across the different kinds of pieces that you made. So, how does the natural grain or color of a particular wood, does that influence your design choices in Intarsia? Were there instances during this creation process where you just looked at a piece of wood and you're like, this is going to be that? It inspired a particular piece or element because of the grain of the wood, for example.
I've been searching for different woods to use in my Intarsia for 30 years. I've worked with well over 100 different species of wood, and of course each one of them has its different grains and colors. And when I decided to do the Aavegotchis, looking at the 3D models that we looked at, we were sent, I realized that the natural colors of the wood really are what make these pieces. They may differentiate from the original Aavegotchis, the ghosts, but just by using the natural colored woods gives you an idea of how this art can be made using all the different types of wood. So it can be a lengthy process, and quite a bit of trial and error is involved in creating a piece, but these are pretty simple really, because I know orange is Pernambuco and Poamarillo is yellow, and you get the different background woods like silky oak or lacewood from Australia, the fishtail oaks from South America. So it's just a matter of using the experience that I have working with different woods to be able to put these things together.
Oh man, I mean, over 30 years, I can imagine what your wood collection looks like at this point. I have all the colors at this point.
Blue is the hardest one. I do use blue maho, which is depending on the cut of the tree and where it was from, in Jamaica or other places in South America. It's not a true blue, but it's close enough, and it gives a good representation, for certain features in my art.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
No problem, man. Glad to do it.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
I have a
Each
question.
piece, very unique.
Thank you.
So the piece is now in the queue, guys. If you guys head over to, couldn't get 420, but we got 409. So good. And there's going to be so today's the queue day. And then if you look at the picture above, the timeline here, we'll do the next auction, the first auction which will be done via GBM, is going to be on September 9th. And it's going to be a 1-hour flash auction. And the winner of that auction is going to be the first person from the community to receive the IRL coaster set shipped to them, pretty much wherever you are, US, Europe, and then, Asia. We'll have to talk about shipping there. But yeah, if you're in the US, it'll arrive within a few days of winning that auction. So very exciting stuff. And I've made a little type form here. If you're interested in bidding and would like a reminder, go ahead and just sign up for this type form, and we'll send everyone an email an hour before the auction begins. And it's also a little fun contest in there as well. So definitely, if you have any interest in potentially bidding on these items, fill in the type form. And these are, I mean, if there's some great shots as well in the type form and as well in the video. Basically, this fake consists of the thumbnail, which is the kind of the collage of 4, and then it's a GIF, so you see individual pieces of each of the coasters, and then there's a 100 megabyte video in there as well, where Intarja Mike is talking about these pieces and also kind of showing the work in progress videos as he was making them. It's really cool stuff. He's I call him the human laser because he's using this scroll saw to carve out each of these tiny pieces. Like these pieces are insanely small, and he's just carving them out with his scroll saw like a laser beam, and getting them to like almost pixel perfect perfection.
Man, that scroll saw, that blade looks hella thin. You bend it one way and it's gonna snap. It's a real art probably to maneuver around, without
The blade that I use, it's called a 3/0. I call it a thread with teeth. It's 2/1000 of an inch thick.
wow.
So it allows me to make real good turns, easy turns. Some of these woods are very, very dense, so you can't go fast, otherwise you'll burn the blade right up. But there's, you reach that happy medium and where you can still cut and guide it through. And I use a pair of two power jeweler's goggles to be able to see the line. And basically, I'm splitting a pencil line. That's how accurate this saw is.
Wow, that's incredibly accurate.
Fun stuff.
And yeah, there's this Z-Bot just mentioned, and there's a secret Easter egg in the video as well. It's a Gotchi version of "Take Me Home." There it is.
Hi there.
Very nice.
I'm Mike, Coder Dan's dad. I'm also the creator of the Aavegotchi Intarja collection. Intarja is an ages-old art form that uses natural colors and textures of different woods to create pictures. This Aavegotchi Intarja coaster collection is handcrafted using 15 different woods from all over the world. No stains, paints, or dyes were used to create these custom Intarja pieces.
I love that.
That's my favorite part, the fire. Kind of cool.
Yeah, Umami, it does have the epoxy on it.
Yeah, it's a 2-part epoxy. You mix the 2 pieces and then make sure that it's mixed properly for 3 minutes. And then you pour the first batch into a clean cup, and then you stir a little bit more, and then you go ahead and pour it. And what happens is, as the stuff is spreading out, and it's all self-leveling, so as it's moving around, bubbles do form, They come up through from between the pieces of wood, and that's what the torch is for. Torch just hit it one time and it dissipates the bubbles. So it takes about an hour after you pour it to be able to get all the bubbles out. It's kind of a nerve-wracking process.
Yeah, that's probably the most risky part of this whole thing.
Yep, exactly. You got to just make sure that stuff is mixed good and allow the time necessary to dissipate the bubbles as they come up. You know, they'll find a place to come up, and you just have to be ready. You can't let it set up. You got, like I say, a little over an hour before the stuff starts to set up. So you got to, you know, just keep an eye on it.
You can't torch it too hard, otherwise it hardens and then the bubbles are stuck there forever.
Right. So it's a fine line process.
Yeah, Choina, the images, I mean, we tried our best, but yeah, I gotta say the images do not do the coasters justice. They're really very, very cool to see in real life and hold in your hand. Just the fact that everything is digital, and then you finally get this physical representation of the Aavegotchi or the wizard or the farmer or Raffle holding it in your hand is pretty neat. Yeah, thanks Hefe for reposting that. So again, if you, I'll be reposting this throughout the week, but if you're interested in getting just like a little reminder email an hour before the auction begins, go ahead and just put your email in there. And also, whoever gets closest to the final price is going to get a special gift from Intarja Mike as well. So try and guess. We have honestly have no idea what the final price of this is going to be. This is all going to go to Intarja Mike, and he's stoked to be doing this and earn some ghost and get a little ghost bag going.
Oh, that's awesome to get his ghost bag started this way. It's so awesome.
Al says, what's the supply? So 2 of these. One is, I'm going to hold one. Zbot is also going to get one, as Zbot has really done a ton of work in making the original IRL gotchis that inspired all this. So he and I are both going to have one of these fake gotchi NFTs, and then the remaining 8 will be auctioned off probably over a period of a few months. We'll do some auctions. So again, that's why it'll be nice to be on this email list. If you are interested, maybe not in the first one, maybe in the third or the fourth one, then you just put your email on there and you'll get updates with 1 hour before it goes live. Now, of course, the fake gotchis, if someone else auctions them, then that will not count towards getting the IRL. Only the auctions that are officially from the Intarja Mike wallet will qualify for getting the physical shipped. But I'm sure some people, may work out some way to do an auction, and there could be some OTC deals where someone ships it to you, but that'll be out of the scope of what Intarja Mike will be handling here. Al says, yeah, so there's going to be one fake released this Saturday, and the remaining ones will be to be determined. Probably every few weeks we'll do one. Yeah, the first auction for the first one will be September 9th. 2 p.m. UTC, 1 hour flash auction during the hangout.
Out of these, oh, sorry, go ahead, No Future. I know you had a question.
No, I was just gonna say these look great, and I look forward to getting outbid.
And it's probably going to be what do you think we should do, guys? 5% or 10% GBM incentive?
35%. Let's go.
Yeah,
DGen,
super DGen.
It'll probably be 10%. So that also might impact some of the price prediction for 35%.
What was the
most likely it'll be?
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I was just gonna say, what was the most challenging piece? I'm curious out of all of these to put together.
The wizard. The wizard has 31 pieces, and some of them are. I mean, very, very small pieces involved. But, you know, I mean, it all comes together. I did that one yesterday. I'm working on the ghost today. So I've got the wizard done, and everything's cut out. I haven't actually glued it in and put the epoxy in yet. I'm going to go ahead and get all 4 of them finished woodworking wise, and then I can go ahead and do my final sanding and polyurethane for the coasters, and then get them all ready to pour the epoxy. Do them all at one time. But yeah, the wizard definitely, that's the most challenging out of the 4 pieces.
Yeah, look at these little pieces. Like you got I just posted the picture here. You got the big gem at the top, and then there's like another little gem under it, and each of those 4 pieces are
it's 3/16 of an inch.
Oh my
total
god!
Piece.
Crazy.
When I do these, I have to sand each individual piece. So what I have to do is let my thumbnail and my forefinger, the fingernails grow just a little bit so I can hold on to these things like a vice, and then sand it, and then get it to fit in place. So it's definitely time consuming, a lot of patience involved, but I mean, it's just fun to see it all come together.
Do you have a favorite one?
As far as these,
yeah,
I've only done, you know, I mean, they're all fun. I mean, there's no favorites really. I mean, I know it's a complete collection. Raffle is pretty good. I mean, he was fun. He's fun just to look at, if nothing else. And with the little dots in the eyes, I mean, the little white dots, those are what I have to do there is use the holly, which is the pure white wood, and then make the end of it like a toothpick. And I drill a 1/16 of an inch hole, and then insert it in there, and then cut it off, and then sand it down to give him his little eye flash. So it's you know, that's all part of the technique that I've used for a lot of different pieces. Biggest piece I've ever done was I call it, it's a portrait of Monticello, and it was about 810 pieces and 17 different woods. And I entered it in a contest years ago, and I won first place for that, best of show for that, and 2 of my other pieces won second and third place. So I walked out with everything that day.
Just cleaned up. Just cleaned up the competition. I mean, Intarsia Mike is kind of, there were really, when Intarsia started taking off, there was really only 2 people that were at like the forefront. It was him and another lady that was doing Intarsia.
Judy Gale Roberts was the one that started this back in the late 89, 90. And I started doing it in 92 or 91 and 92. I liked the concept of using all the different woods, and I just started collecting all these different woods to get as much color as I could involved. And I actually started selling kits to catalog companies, where they would buy my kit, and they would have all the exotic woods. Nothing was cut out, but I sent them the patterns and the instructions and all that stuff to make jewelry boxes. And first year I sold 870 kits. So that was the company put me in business, Leishton Workshops. And then after that, I did it for almost 10 years selling kits, sold well over 15,000 kits.
Wow.
Jesus.
But I wanted to be able to show my own work. So, you know, I've been designing these things, and, you know, I can take a picture of it about anything and turn it into an Intarsia.
That's just really incredible. Wow, that's
Fun stuff.
You said you've been doing this for 30 years, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So I have a weird question, but I figure you would understand or know the answer to this. You've worked with a lot of different woods. Visually, you know, like all the woods based on color. Is there a certain wood that you like the smell of more than any of the other ones? Because you're working with these, and, you know, sawing them, you have to, there's probably odor that's there. Like, is there a certain wood that you prefer, like that you like just based on the smell?
Yep. I like Peruvian walnut. Peruvian walnut is a chocolate brown walnut. It smells just like chocolate when you cut it. I mean, it's very pleasant to work with. It's fairly soft. cuts good and sands good and shines up good with polyurethane, which is my preferred choice for a finish because it protects the wood and it's waterproof and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, proving walnut and pink ivory. Pink ivory from Africa is also smells pretty good when you cut it. Some of the woods I don't use as much because they are fairly toxic. If you breathe a lot of the dust, which when I'm working with certain woods, I do wear a dust mask. I don't stir up a lot of dust, but there's certain woods like Ipe, which is a South American hardwood, use it for deck boards. And it does have a kind of a green color, which green is very limited as far as the types of woods that you can use for green. Ipe is one of them, but I don't use it a lot just because it's very, very dense and it's hard to cut. So, it doesn't have the green that I'm looking for. For a lot of times I'll use the lignum vitae, which is the densest wood in the world, but it does cut like butter on a scroll saw.
That's the raffle, right?
That's raffle. That's the green that I used in
densest wood in the world.
Yeah.
Mikey J says, I don't know if this was already said, but is this laser cut?
No,
man. This is Intarsia Mike, aka the human laser, aka Coder Dan's dad. All this is done. You can see the video showing him kind of cutting out these pieces using the scroll saw. Every one of these is going to be slightly unique because they're all hand done.
Now, I have on some of my pieces in the past, custom jewelry boxes and stuff like that. I have had laser work done, but only for an accent. It's much more accurate. It's faster, but when you're working, you're very limited on the thickness of wood that you can cut with a laser. Actually cut. You can burn into it and make lines and stuff, but you can't really cut it without burning everything up. So the scroll saw, is really the only tool that you can use to make these intricate cuts.
Last thing, before we let Intarsia Mike go, but maybe this wasn't super clear, but the auction is going to be for the entire set, not just for one piece. So this is the entire set. It comes with all 4 of the coasters and a little coaster holder, and there's also a little booklet at the bottom that talks about each of the pieces and gives a little bit of an intro to what Intarsia is. So that might also affect some of the guesses that you guys made. Maybe that was not that clear. Yeah, it's for the entire set.
Limited edition.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm all up for if somebody has a certain piece that they would like to have me work on. Never know. We can find the time for that.
Oh, I'm sure you get many commissions coming your way.
Yeah, we need Goobs. Goobs was doing woodcut, the liquidator wanted sign. That would be dope. I have the physical in my house, but to get an Intarsia version of that, it would be really cool.
Like I said, I can take a picture of just about anything. I did a bar top from one of my other sons, and he had taken a picture on his vacation in Maui. So he sent me this picture, and I looked at it, and I said, it'll be tough to incorporate it into a bar top, but I did it. I used the whole thing, proven walnut for the frame. It's 6 foot long and 2 foot wide, and I had a beautiful picture rendition, my rendition of the Maui beach. So it was called the Maui Wowie bar top, custom bar top. Came out really nice. And that was my first experience using the tabletop resin, and it was scary. I can tell you that. It's one of the. But I actually started working with that when I made 2 coasters for the bar to experiment with. So it came out really pretty. So that was and I had 2 gallons of this stuff left over, and I said, well, let me make some more stuff with it. So it doesn't always go well. I had one piece I worked on for over 100 hours. I had 365 pieces from 25 different woods. And I should have done a little bit more research, but ended up ruining the whole thing because I didn't understand the aesthetics of the tabletop resin and million bubbles. So I worked on it, try to correct it, but it's hard to do once that stuff sets up.
Anyway,
I was
we'll
gonna ask, if you get
yeah.
bubbles, that's it, right? You have to restart. There's no way to like sand it down or like recover it.
You can actually, if you have a bubble that's really obvious, in a fairly large piece, you do it in multiple pours. You don't do it all at one pour. Like if your final product is a 1/2 inch thick, you may do it in 4 different pours, and that allows you to get any bubbles out. The first pour is the critical one, because that's where all the bubbles are going to come up through. So you do a thin pour, 1/8 of an inch, and it allows you to, work pretty fast to get the bubbles out. The one piece I did, I just had 1 million bubbles, literally 1 million bubbles come up. And the more I torched it, that was the downfall, was because it caused the upper layer of the epoxy to set up, and bubbles couldn't escape anymore.
Right.
So I had to let it set up permanently. And then before I poured the second pour, I used a Dremel tool with an engraving bit, and I could actually dig down and find the bubble and get rid of the bubble, and then mixed up another batch of the epoxy and poured it, and it fills back in pretty good. But it was just way too many bubbles. That was my fault. I didn't think it through.
Too many bubbles.
Too many bubbles.
In woodworking and in crypto.
Yep. Yep.
Well, let's leave it there. We'll leave a little bit more time for the hangout here, but we'll be dropping this link throughout the week, and the auction for the full coaster set will begin on September 9th at 2 p.m. UTC. So, thank you to Intarja Mike for showing up and dropping some wood alpha.
Thank you for joining us.
Enjoy
This is
talking
really
with you
awesome.
guys. Enjoy talking with you. I'm going to head back out to the shop and work on the ghost.
Nice.
Got to get her done.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Have a good day.
See
Take
ya.
care.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
That was cool. That was awesome. When in
Gotta get her
Tarja
done.
DAO, collecting the world's rarest woods.
Honestly, man,
haven't-
that's not a bad idea, because he was talking about all these woods that are. There's literally one guy in the U.S. that he's got like an embargo, like a monopoly on all these different woods, because it's really hard to get some of them. Not a bad idea. Could wood futures, invest in the wood.
Yeah, in Tarja DAO, crafting masterpieces with the world's rarest woods. There you go.
I don't know. Looking at those coasters made me feel bad that I didn't prepare a cup of coffee coming into this, because now it's like, damn, I want some coffee. Like that's what.
You can't put coffee on the coaster though. You gotta. It can only. It says that in the manual under it. It's you can only put cold liquids on it. Otherwise, I think it screws the epoxy up. Not a hot drink coaster.
It's gonna be a beer coaster. We got it.
But some nice cold coffee would work. A little iced coffee.
Honestly, I can't imagine anybody putting a drink on this. They're just so beautiful.
Sweet. Well, thank you, friends, for humoring us with that, and we'll get back to our normal programming now. But I love these fake gotchis. It's so cool to have this this kind of segment of the community that we can just geek out on crypto art all the time.
I was in a Magic Eden space, like the GMD Gems one that happens regularly, and they were talking about like, hey man, we need more of a one-of-one art thing here on Polygon. I'm like, that already exists. It's done $600, almost $700,000 of volume. It's fake gotchi. So trying to it's for us to have this so early, I think is great, and I'm hoping to see just more attention towards it, because we are doing it, and we are, I think, one of the few like one-of-one generating projects, like just in terms of art, like coming from our IP.
Oh yeah. I got a fake Gotchi coming up. I'm working with Soju on, so that's gonna be something to look forward to for sure. We got some staples in our fake Gotchi collection too. Some resident artists. Yeah, I agree. Golden Cross Kravich is really good work. This is some really good stuff for Fake Fest.
Yeah, Supreme Pablo has a dope piece that just passed the queue. I think it just passed the queue. I'll go back to it. It looked really cool. Yeah, what is it called? Fake Gotchis Magazine Volume 3.
Oh, it looks like he has two. He has Fake Portal from My Toy Gotchi, and then Fake Gotchi's magazine that you were saying.
Ooh, I like the Fake Portal too.
Oh man, someone needs
good
to like
look.
get on the back end for Supreme Pablo, so we can actually have our Fake Gotchi's magazine. That would be very, very cool.
Yeah, a fake Gotchi's magazine would be pretty dope, actually.
You know, artist interviews and inspo
Yeah.
and all that.
Oh man, good idea.
See, I'm telling you, man, you go in the woods and the ideas are just flowing. They just come to you. Musashi, that's pretty cool, man. Writing a template out, helping your mother to. Is this her first DAP? Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I agree, Choina. Absolutely.
Last couple minutes here, just run through some things. Did you guys all see the YouTube video that Kagi did? He turned serious Gotchi gang last week. He did an interview with Jesse and an interview with Andy. So I don't know if everyone has seen those. Let's give some love to those here and make sure, because I think there was quite a bit of alpha dropped in both of those, honestly.
Ooh. Yeah, let's drop those links.
And yeah, everyone go give him a comment on YouTube. Let him know that Gotchi Gang is strong. Yeah, Kaki's funny. He's a funny guy. He loves the Gotchi Gang. We need to give him more content. That's what he just wants, content. We need to make sure that we're giving him a slew of more Gotchi than he can handle.
I used to watch a lot of his videos with Axie Infinity when I was playing that game, like when I first got into like GameFi stuff, and it was really entertaining to watch. Sometimes just watch him play. So I'm looking forward to Gotchi Guardians coming out, because I think that's gonna be the thing that'll, like you're saying, content.
Yeah, these guys, a lot of them, they just want games to play that are going to be entertaining for people to watch. So I think Gotchi Guardians and the Arena are both going to fill that little void. Give some love to him.
Hey guys, I'm out and about, so I can't stay up too long. But anybody that creates Gotchi content needs maximum love from all of us. There's 100 people in here. You should have 100 more likes in like 10 minutes from now.
Oh yeah.
That goes for any
Absolutely.
Gotchi content that's created anywhere. We need to updude and upboot and upvote. All of it. This has been your Manic Chair morning update on Saturday. Love you all very much. I'm going to Pavilions.
There you go, friends. Support each other.
That's right.
Support the content.
That's right. Totally. I mean, when we really blow up, people are gonna look back fondly on this time. Like, we're such a tight knit group here. Got to support each other.
Cozy for sure.
Get ready for running pops. There's Goobs was saying some inside information. It might the price might actually go up. So there might be, if there's time during the DAO talk, it'd be very brief. It's unscheduled, so it doesn't have to actually happen. Discussing potentially creating a prize pool for players, so that if we don't win, they don't feel rugged. Like the top 10 players, we offer up prizes the DAO, as
Mm.
encouragement as part of the bigger competition for running pops.
Yeah, no, we can. I think. Well, here, let me pull up the schedule for today and kind of go through. You know, well, once we wrap up here with the first part of the hangout here.
Yeah, we got 6 minutes.
So this is what I got for today, friends. We'll do our proposal review. I got Ernani up here for the Orium proposal, and we also got Tab Voltron Hackathon conclusion happening today. And then, time permitting, we can do mission discussion, but also I'd like to slip in there the what are you calling it? What is it called? Running Pops? Running Pops BTC.
Running pops.
So we can talk about that as well. Oh, Light Piglet has a question for you. No futuristic.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna respond because I didn't know if you guys were gonna keep talking about it, but yeah, no, I know the guy from Running Pops because yesterday I messaged him and during GMD gens, we tested the multiplayer version live. We just played in the background. I beat him once, so that's the clip I used. So and I made it clear that that's how it was. So yeah, I know the guy. We could talk and figure out if the Thrive reward thing works because that would make everything much easier, honestly. But we're with me and Goobs in the back channels just kind of talking like this is bouncing ideas, but the idea that like we want to be able to offer a big enough top end prize to encourage the best players to come and play with us. So we were thinking a split of the prize from the competition. But if we don't win, then those players are going to feel rugged. So I was thinking the DAO can put something. It doesn't. I don't realistically know what it should be, but something to be a prize pool to kind of organize this a little. If Thrive can do that, that's perfect.
Yeah, totally. Golden Cross is curious about your call with Jason Slama. Oh, he's on stage.
Oh yeah,
Welcome.
we touched on that
Yeah.
at the beginning of the call, but yeah,
Did
there's
I miss it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll
It
have
was
to
good.
re-listen.
It was good. It was really. I enjoyed talking to Slama. He's freaking Chad, and he just
he
puts so
is.
much love into it, and the level of detail really impressed me. I was not expecting to see as much as I saw, and yeah, it was a good conversation. I had a really good conversation with him.
When will you be publishing that?
I'm waiting on. So I we he
Or
he's
do
a
we
one.
publish it, or what? Yeah.
It wouldn't be me publishing it; it would be him. But he did it in one shot. Like basically, we just walked right through it. It was one take. All he needs is music under it. So we've we've talked about that because I don't want to just pick music. I'm waiting for him to send me music. So whenever that happens, I'm gonna send him the file, and then he'll be able to post from there.
Very cool. Yeah, that'll be good to get out to everybody. He said it was a good conversation, so he loves showing off the work he's doing. So I think this was you know, he would do this more often if he could.
Yeah, he made. I mean, this was a like a leap. And I was not expecting that to see like full like gameplay, and then him switching between all the players and all the little minute detail animations, like deaf animations that are happening for the player, the deaf animation happening in the top. I don't want to give away too much, but it's like, oh, this is like very detailed, and I loved it.
I think we were talking about KG or Kagi just a minute ago. He just put out one of his mini hot takes yesterday, which said, "Oh, after this last round of playing a bunch of Web3 games, I guess nothing's going to be ready till late 2024, early 2025 for Web3 gaming." I think it was like that was just some bait to start a conversation, but playing off of that and knowing that we're going to be shipping this way before that, I don't know. I feel like we've got a competitive game here that stands on its own. So hopefully you had that same kind of impression. I feel like this has so much potential. It just comes down to execution. But what we've got is very playable. So can't wait for everybody to get a chance to go hands on with it in the future.
Yeah, one thing I will say that I don't know if I should say this, but I asked him, and it like the game has the ability. I don't know if what the plans are, but the ability to be on a launch pad, which opens it up to so many new audiences. It could be on Elixir, it could be on different launch
Mhm.
pads for Web3 games. So that's going to be huge.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna cover that in the next dev update, but we're actively reaching out to all the different Web3 launchers that are out there. There's a lot of them, which is awesome. That means there's a lot of players that are going to be kind of native to each of these individual game launchers. There's like OneKin, PokeStarter, Hyperplay, Game Swift, Carve. There's probably like 3 or 4 more. There's new. Everyone wants to be the Steam of Web3, which is great for a game because there's just so many places where you can get featured,
Yeah,
and
we're all scrambling to.
they want games. Everyone wants to have a game to show. That's fun. So it's a good time to be a good game, and we just need to get these games out there, and we're working on those partnerships right now and locking those in.
Yeah, it's going to be a big part of our go to market. You know, it's a benefit that most games don't have, but right time and place. It's a new industry or a new vertical here for Web3, and there's a ton of these gaming platforms that are trying to fill that void and solve that problem. So uh, I don't think we've had any resistance, just whether it's the Aavegotchi brand or our reputation or whatever, but there's no resistance. Everyone's super excited to host any Aavegotchi game. So it's going to help us a lot. It's just another thing we can do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it looked fun. It looked fun. I watched him do it, and also seeing him kind of like narrate as he played how he was going, what he thought. It was very enjoyable.
Those AIs, man, the sleeper AIs, those were funny to watch too. Everyone, once that video goes out, it's definitely a good watch, especially the demo part.
Cool. Thanks for answering my question, No Futuristic. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I think we will make it nice and loud, so everybody here definitely will want to check that out in the days ahead. But looks like we're heading into the DAO hour. So
The dower.
The
the
dower.
dower.
Hell yeah. So I posted the schedule earlier, but pretty simple schedule for today. We will do a proposal review. We got 2 proposals in the queue. We have Ernani, who's already up here on stage with us, who will be doing the Orium presentation on their proposal. And then we also have, I believe, the Tab Voltron Hackathon concluding today, so we can get into that. I know we've set aside some time for them as well. Yeah, absolutely. Drop that intro. Absolutely. It's awesome. And then, time permitting, we can talk about continue our mission discussion from last week, as well as No Futuristic. You mentioned something the DAO might want to get behind for running pops. So that's for today. We're going to get right into it here, friends. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, Choina. Me too. I'm looking forward to seeing what came about there and how your guys' judging went. Yeah, Brahmin, likewise. Take care. Enjoy your vacation. We'll see you next week. All right, so let's get into the snapshot proposals. Last one here that I believe ended last week, 2 Agip 92 and 93. So Agip 92 was for the sponsorship partnership marketing deal for this bicycle adventure lap with Network Hustler. And unfortunately, the DAO has passed on this one. 61% against the proposal, 31% for the proposal. Network Hustler did reach out to me, and hopefully the DAO will get behind something like this in the future. Either way, if if Network Hustler is in the Discord, if you are on this trip and you feel like you're gonna be posting some Gotchi stuff, definitely tag us. Share. We'll get the word out, and spread the word of your bicycle adventure lap, Gotchi Gang style. Alchemicus Spending Competition Season 3. This is put up by Ricky G, Hardcore, and overwhelmingly 86% voted in favor of, so they're going to be funding the competition. This uses the same parameters as the last competition, except Soju is crafting some really dope intangible prizes, some medals that I believe are going to be one-on-ones. So these are going to be unique and definitely worth participating in. If the last ones, you felt like there wasn't something you want to win, I think those NFTs might be it. So yeah, brand awareness ad. These are the two active proposals right now. Brand awareness ad by Flame Viper. Flame Viper is always coming up with interesting ways that Aavegotchi DAO can market themselves to the greater space. And so this was a reaching out to Gogo Duppy to use his like AI platform and put up some ads, possibly linking to things like Margins Blade and some of the new avenues in Aavegotchi that people might be really interested in. So this is a DAO initiative to, I believe he's asking for either 1,000 ghost or 6,000 ghost, depending on whether you go plan A or B. So you can just have a look at the proposal here, plan A or B. And so far, it looks like the abstain option is 49%. Still haven't met quorum, 5.4 million out of 9 million votes. So we have that there. You have only 13 hours on that one, so get your votes in. So we have Ernani's proposal here, Orium, revamp the Aavegotchi rental protocol to support parcels and wearables. I think just since you're already up here, Ernani, maybe we can get right into this one, and I'll give you the stage, give you the floor, and you can kind of explain this a little bit, and we can take some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually did the full presentation on a
Yeah,
Hangout before, I think
true.
about a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so maybe I'll skip that and
Yeah.
I'll just highlight the main points.
Mhm.
And yeah, if anyone has any questions, if anyone has any suggestions, yeah, feel free to ask. But yeah, essentially, Orion has been working with the Aavegotchi rental protocol for a little over 2 years now. And it has been great, to be honest. Aavegotchi was one of the first few blockchain games out there that introduced what we call on-chain lending, right? So the ability for you to rent an NFT entirely on-chain. And although the first iteration has been innovative on that sense, it was very specific for the Aavegotchi use case. And when I say the Aavegotchi use case, I mean the Aavegotchi NFT. So if we were the DAO to replicate the same feature for other NFT collections, it would take significant time and customization. So what Orion is proposing here is essentially for us to take a step back, design a rental standard for the broader Aavegotchi ecosystem, so that we can not only list Aavegotchis, but also wearables and land parcels, right? Initially, in this proposal, that's what we are covering. We are covering these 3 NFT collections that we want to bring to the rental marketplace. But that also opens the room or the path for new NFTs to be listed as well, because there will be a clear path on how to introduce more NFTs to be rented out. I think this is a immense proposition. It's an immense opportunity for the DAO, because there are a lot of use cases out there that haven't been explored because these assets are not rentable right now. So, for example, in the case of wearable, I know a lot of people that would be really happy, to rent at least once a godlike wearable to play in the arena or something like that, or to rent a very rare wearable for the rarity season, and even make the competition stronger when we have those events. So that's just for wearable. There are many more use cases for land parcels, and probably many more for the other types of NFTs that the Aavegotchi community is going to introduce. I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to come up with a lot more as we progress as an ecosystem. Um, I also want to add that one of the things that the DAO is potentially missing out with the current rental market is royalties. So the bazaar right now charges a flat fee of 3.5% on all transactions. And I think it would be fair for the rental marketplace to have a similar feature because we want the DAO to be benefited when there is activity in the rental marketplace, right? And that's right now that's not the case, right? So in 2021, when there was a point in 2021 that we were having like 6,000 ghosts a day spent on rentals. I did a Dune Analytics dashboard during that time to analyze that data. And that was when Ghost was almost at $3. If you annualize that revenue, we were doing way more than $1 million worth of rentals a year. Obviously, as the bear market arrived and things has cooled off, ended up not being that much volume, but it just show how powerful rentals could be for a single use case, right? For a single type of rental. And so, yeah, this proposal it also introduces this additional revenue stream for the DAO, which is something that I am very excited about. And that's pretty much it. I can talk more. There are a lot of we have a different approach. We propose a different approach here for renting NFTs. The whole idea is that the NFTs, they don't leave your wallet when you rent them out. You don't have to cancel or claim your Aavegotchi back when the rental is done. That's done automatically through the smart contracts. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff there. But yeah, I would love to hear from the community. What is the temperature check for this? And yeah, if anyone has any suggestions or things that they didn't like in the proposal.
Let's have a look at the comments here. I have some comments coming in. Let's have a look at the comments here. We have some comments coming in. Golden Cross saying future proof. Coder Dan coming in with Gotchi lending prop. I think this is definitely something the DAO should consider supporting, because wearable renting is not currently on the PC roadmap. So this could be a nice step for that for the DAO to take care of this aspect. Hardcore adding, we need to have this thriving economy as we add games, for sure. Yeah, Zbot excited about the fashion rent house. There's an idea. Yeah. Matt is asking a couple questions here. Would you be able to rent whole sets or just single wearables?
When you say sets, you mean more than one NFT at once, right?
Yeah, I think like a whole Thave suit or something, a Thave set with the hammer and the helmet and everything, for example.
Yeah, that's totally doable. So the whole rental protocol is built on a standard that Orion is also authoring. It's called ERC 7432. And one thing that I want to make clear is that anyone can build a marketplace on top of this standard, right? So it's just like ERC 71 for NFTs. OpenSea can build their marketplace, Aavegotchi can build their marketplace, and so on. So yeah, we'll build a marketplace. We'll have this type of features. The batch lending will also be there. It's going to be a part of one of the features. It's not on this proposal, but we'll definitely add it because it's a must. But I also wanted to point that out. The contracts, they will be on control of the DAO, and anyone can build on top of it, right? So if you think you can build cool stuff, using this rental protocol, it's an open protocol. It aims to be a standard, so the broader community is also happy to bring more stuff to the table. I also want to add that I'm very surprised. I posted the proposal yesterday evening, and it has been, I think, a little over 12 hours, and there are 500 votes, 600 votes. Wow, that's a lot of activity for a DAO. I'm honestly shocked.
Yeah, it's looking good so far, actually. 75% support, and we are nowhere near quorum. So the votes will keep rolling in as we go on here. You know, we still have quite a bit of time left to vote on this one. So, friends, get your votes in here. In my opinion, my personal opinion, this is a major upgrade for Aavegotchi protocol, and it's one of those things where if you build it, they'll come. You know, it's like you build the extension for the protocol, and there'll be people coming with their ideas. Someone just mentioned renting sets. There's some people saying we could maybe integrate this into an Aavegotchi dressing room. I think people are already getting some ideas around how they could be using this. So that's kind of the idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I spoke with a lot of people. I really took my time on crafting this proposal, and I spoke with a lot of stakeholders in the DAO. And I didn't receive criticism. It was more feature requests. So just like we heard here, how about batch rentals? How about a dressing room and other things, which we can definitely continue to build toward all these things. So that's definitely exciting. To be honest with you guys, yeah, I think only one person told me that you would be against this proposal. So my only concern is we not reaching our quorum. Quorum is yeah, challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, definitely open to more questions. If anyone have any doubts or yeah, constructive criticism, I'll be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I see there's one question here from Flame that's not it's not directly related to this proposal, but did Orium Network finish the premium petter? He's asking.
We never fully decided to build one. So there is demand, but we don't think the demand is that strong for us to put the time to build that. I think we put a vote on Twitter, and I think we had 12 people saying yes. So yeah, although we see there is demand, it's just not enough for us to invest. Yeah, to build and support long term that type of service. So yeah, the petting service will remain as is for the time being.
I take the blame for that because I was the one that put up the poll. I like to stir the pot a little. I'm sorry.
No, this is great, Hernani. I'm thinking, innovation on the front of the EIP, and then again, innovation on the front of, upgrading the Aavegotchi protocol. So, got my vote, got my support.
Yeah, absolutely. The Aavegotchi team already innovated when they introduced on-chain rental. I think they were the second, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there was Pegaxi, which is almost a dead project at this point. They introduced rentals, and then right after that was Aavegotchi, was one of the first for sure to introduce rentals. So yeah, props to the DAO, continue to innovating, continuing the frontier, and yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah, we can take maybe one last question here. I got one from Phantasma. So, it'll actually be possible to fetch wearables out of Gotchi's equipped status when rental expires?
I'm not sure if I understood the question.
Yeah,
They want to.
So will it actually be possible to fetch wearables out of Gotchi's equipped status when rental expires?
So what he's saying here is that you rented out a wearable. The wearable was equipped in a Gotchi, and the rental expires. What happens now, right? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think so.
I just want to make sure I understood the question.
Yeah. That's what he
Yeah.
says.
Yeah. So the way that we are planning for this to work is when the wearable is delegated to you, essentially, the borrower is the person that's gonna essentially say in which Aavegotchi that NFT is gonna be equipped in. As soon as that time is over, that responsibility goes back to the lender. So to answer your question, yeah, you'll be able to unequip your wearable from another Aavegotchi once the time is due.
Nice, awesome. All right, friends. Definitely go show your support for this proposal. If you have any additional feedback, where can friends drop this feedback, Hernani? Do you have I guess you have a forum thread people can provide feedback on if need be?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me actually pick the Discord thread. We're gonna
Yeah.
paste it here,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the link for the vote as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Arnani, just a question: will the ERC 1155 actually transfer or not? Because my understanding was that it would be a roll, but like for wearables, they will be able to actually equip something onto the Gotchi.
Yeah. So the standard itself, it doesn't deal with custody in any way,
Right.
right? You just assign on-chain roles. But part of the utility of the wearables is for you to be able to equip that wearable in one of the Gotchi. So yeah, if you look at the proposal, we will actually have to make a pull request to the Aavegotchi Diamond contract and the wearable contract to enable that to
Right.
happen, right? For someone to equip and for someone else to unequip those NFTs.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a part of the standard for role assignment. But these diamond contracts, they would basically check who has the power to do so. In other words.
Yeah, that's awesome. Coder Dan, while you're up here, I guess I can give you the stage there. I know there was something you wanted to
Sure.
add, or not
Yeah,
add,
I
but
just want to
yeah.
I want to kind of key the DAO here in on something we've been working on with Chainlink, and see get kind of a temperature check before we continue like working on it. Basically, it's a little bit of bad news, honestly, because so we're making Gotchi Chain, and we're going to be migrating all of the Aavegotchi assets over to Gotchi Chain. That includes Aavegotchis, wearables, fake Gotchis can come as well, although they'll continue to be minted on Polygon, and realm parcels. So we said to them, okay, what like basically realm parcels currently use the Chainlink VRF for their random number generating every time we do a round survey, and that's going to be continuing for a couple of years until all the parcels have been surveyed. So we reached out to Chainlink and said, hey, is there any availability for or bandwidth for getting Chainlink VRF on Gotchi Chain? Because Polygon does not really, they don't have like a plan for supporting Chainlink VRF. Like they don't have an official partnership for getting VRF deployed on each of the CDK or SuperNet chains. It's more of like an ad hoc project by project basis at the moment. That could change, but at the moment there's no official partnership there. So we reached out to Chainlink, who we have a great relationship with, and just said, is there any availability for getting Chainlink VRF specifically onto Gotchi Chain? And so this conversation has been going on for 3 or 4 months now, and there've been various proposals batted back and forth. But the latest proposal that they came to us was for, and just to be clear, we have a really strong advocate within the Chainlink team who's been helping us basically deal with a lot of their upper management and really pushing for Aavegotchi and Gotchi Gang, and that is James Lawton. He's really probably our closest like advocate in the Chainlink team. So shout out to him for just being really helpful. But yeah, the last proposal we got from them was, I would say it's a little higher than what we feel is really appropriate for bringing something like VRF to Gotchi Chain. It came out at around 140K, I think it was. And VRF for us, it's more of like a fun game mechanic. It's not anything that's going to really generate a lot of revenue for Pixelcraft or for the DAO. Although potentially, if there were a lot of usage of it on the chain, it could be revenue positive. But at the moment, we view it kind of like as a public good and almost like a legacy requirement or dependency for the ecosystem. So we went back and forth with them on proposals, and we proposed something more like 70 to 80K, and they just said, guys, like we're sorry, we don't really have the devs available for that price point. They really were kind of sticking to 120 to 140K, which we just think is kind of out of the Pixelcraft budget for doing something like that. So there's a couple there are alternate services. There's one called API 3 DAO, which I've gotten a quote from them from Polygon. It was about, and by the way, that 120K was not a one-time fee. It was an annual recurring fee, which I thought was a bit insane. Honestly, it's too much for the service that they're providing here. And they're also going to charge per request after 200K requests. So API 3 DAO is a single one fee. I don't think they even charge for individual requests. So there won't be like any link fee, like 0.005 link per request or anything. And it's a one-time integration fee of 25K. So obviously that's a big savings, but it does require that we kind of have to abandon Chainlink VRF, which is not really something we want to do. We really value our partnership with Chainlink, and I know a lot of community members are with us because of our relationship with Chainlink, and we don't really want to upset that. At the same time, 120K per year for a random number generator is a bit much. And so I just wanted to present that situation to the DAO and see what the general kind of community sentiment on that is.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Is there any potential cross-chain solution that we can explore? I didn't dive too much into the CDK that Polygon announced, but isn't there an easy way to communicate with Polygon mainnet from Gotchi chain or anything like that?
Well, that did come up. They have the new CCIP that they recently launched, which is another Chainlink product, which I think is a very cool product. Again, it's going to be some form of integration cost onto Gotchi chain. And I did ask him, well, what would be the finality of that? He said it would be about 20 minutes from the time you make a request to the time you make a request on Polygon to the time it actually arrives on Gotchi chain, because they basically need to wait for the chain, the parent chain, which is Polygon POS, to completely finalize and prevent any sort of reorgs. So it takes about 20 minutes, which is not really ideal for a gaming use case when we're hoping to have something within 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, just my personal take here. I think that VRF is more of a gaming feature. I personally like it. I like to have on-chain randomness to have this kind of interaction with the game. But I completely agree. At $10,000 a month, it's it's unsustainable. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, we would. I mean, there are ways to recoup that cost, but we basically just have to pass that on to people consuming or devs consuming the VRF and trying to basically earn a little bit, like a cut of each call, which is not really something we want to even have to set up. And so seeing Mikey J's come in here, there are other ways to get randomness. So API 3 DAO, I'll drop the link here for anyone who hasn't heard of that yet. They do have a product called QRNG. Yeah, QRNG, that is very similar to Chainlink VRF. I don't know if it's as verifiable. We're actually looking into doing some research and creating a report on that. I'm not sure exactly how the same level of verifiability they have versus Chainlink. And it's we're going to get a call with them introduced by Polygon team probably in the next couple weeks here. So could definitely have more information on that. But yeah, that's just one option. I'm sure there's other options as well. We could also just run a cloud randomness generator on the Pixelcraft side that developers could consume on the smart contract side. And so I think there are other options, but I just wanted to present that to the DAO. In case there was like a scenario, we could potentially go, 50-50 to pay for this integration with the DAO. But again, I think it's a little bit too steep for the service they're actually offering. At least at this point, once Gotchi Chain becomes much more successful and has hundreds of games on it, it might make sense to go for that price point and have the peace of mind of using Chainlink VRF. But at this point, it's kind of it just lowers the runway and adds to the budget for Gotchi Chain.
Yeah, personally, I think it's a feature that is nice to have, maybe even great to have, but not at that price point. With potentially affecting long term the project. An alternative way of trying to figure that out, then would be to maybe create a proposal, just as a temperature check, to see where people would be more leaning towards, right? Maybe not having VRF at all, or implementing alternatives to Chainlink VRF.
Yeah, I just wanted to present it here first, real quick, and just see generally what people were thinking. And see if anyone has any other thoughts on it.
I'm just saying there's a lot of Oracle services out there that weren't there 2 years ago, so it's a good time, like you say, to look at other potentials that could serve this use case, because we're not, using Chainlink oracles to manage billions of dollars here. It's like you said, it's a fun use case, and maybe the fidelity of it can be a little bit lower while still serving that verifiable kind of randomness.
I was also going to say for games, like when you're building games, like what Gotchi Guardians, Chainlink VRF doesn't really matter. So it's that's, I think,
it's honestly, it's the main use case would be, at least for now, would be we want to migrate all of the realm parcels and migrate the Gotchiverse gameplay onto Gotchi Chain. And so all the parcel surveying would need to be either consuming Chainlink VRF, or we would have to update the code to use something else. So it wouldn't affect portals. Portals will still be opened on Polygon for the moment. Not planning to change that.
Light Piglet has a question here. So to switch back to Chainlink in the future, wouldn't it be a big overhaul?
Hard to say. It depends on exactly what the modifications we'll need to make for another Oracle solution would be, but I don't see it being an insurmountable task.
There's some comments coming in here from Mikey J. Also, Gotchi games could choose to still run on Polygon if they need trustless randomness, right?
Yeah, and I think API 3 DAO is like the second solution. Chainlink VRF is kind of king, but API 3 DAO is number 2. So it would still be pretty high level of verification. But yeah, we'll be looking into that a little bit more and doing a deep dive with them. On Polygon, mainnet POS will still be using the Chainlink VRF, because I think the Polygon team just was able to get a partnership there, but they just don't have I was pushing the Polygon team to try and get kind of a global partnership with Chainlink, where they would integrate VRF into each of the supernets, but it seems like there's been some pushback from the Polygon team on that. But yeah, that's I just wanted to make the DAO aware of that situation, and because it will affect Gotchi Chain plans and will affect user assets to some extent. Although I think whatever solution we end up going with, we'll make sure that it's something we're all safe with and happy with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mikey J also saying it sounds not ideal, but sounds like a limitation that devs could work around, especially in the early days of Gotchi Chain. So, Awesome.
Yep.
Anything else on that front, Coder Dan?
Nope, no sir. Thank you for the time.
Absolutely, anytime. So with that being said, we have Lexicon from ThriveCoin, and maybe we can get a little bit into the Voltron hackathon, and maybe share your insights. I'll give you the stage there, friend. And as well as anybody else from the Tab team right now, I'd like to welcome you all up. Anybody that was significantly involved with the Voltron hackathon, definitely request I'll get you right up on stage here. Let's share our experiences and celebrate this a little bit.
Thanks, FA. Yeah, this is Lexicon from ThriveCoin. I am our incoming VP of Customer Success, and really, really excited to be here with everybody today. And thank you for sharing the stage and letting me come on and address the community. But I want to just bring it back to sort of the original goal of Thank Aavegotchi. So, I know some months ago, my colleagues came and worked with a good group of Aavegotchi community members to present the Thank Aavegotchi proposal. And our goal at the time, and remains to this day, is to ensure that every community member is valued or is thanked for their valuable contributions to the DAO. And, we think that this will drive more efficiency, utility, and value in the community. And so, and that was achieved not just by the people that proposed the Thank Aavegotchi partnership, but also the members of the Thank Aavegotchi board, who have been, just incredible partners, hardworking. Never. I don't think we've ever failed to leave a meeting without a bunch of stuff to be done and having celebrated stuff that is completed. So I just want to give out a shout out to like Piglet, Al, T-Bird, Hills, and Soju. And I know Chair stepped off, but was a very huge contributor to the cause. And I just want to kind of just touch on numbers. We had an incredible first season with exceeded all our expectations. 7,200 contributions, 1,750 contributors, and season 2, which just ended. Which we continued with the same contribution opportunities that we had in season 1, but layered on top of that, the Voltron hackathon powered by Thank Aavegotchi. That season 2, smashed all expectations with 16,700 contributions and 9,600 individual contributors. And now, some of the stuff is subject to our second layer of bot bad actor symbol protection. So over the next number of days, that's why you can't claim yet. We have another layer of protection where we go back and take a look at the numbers to make sure that take a look at the contributions and to make sure that there aren't any bad actors symbols and such. So those might change, but that still is an incredible achievement. I think it's a testament to the hard work of the Thank Aavegotchi board, and also just the dynamic community that we serve. And so, as I mentioned, feedback from the community led us to focus on builders for season 2. And so the Voltron Hackathon powered by Thank Aavegotchi came up, and that's something that ThriveCoin, the Tab, and key members of the community, including some of those who are on stage right now, conceived and developed. And it was a lot of work. Crypto-Gotchi, big part of that. Mikey J, and thanks for being on the stage here. And Thank Aavegotchi is, as I mentioned, funding the Voltron Hackathon as part of season 2. And we're really excited about that too. So that is sort of the first bit. I guess, does anyone from the Tab, I guess, let me just check here. Yeah, I think that's good. So on the Voltron Hackathon, let me just shift focus just to that. This is why we're here. It's a part of this part of the call. Just want to give a big thanks to Andy, our judges, including Andy Tudor, Coder Dan, Jason Slama, and Jesse, who alongside 2 of the ThriveCoin tech gurus, Brilliant Vigan, our CTO and our head of blockchain, we were able to take a look at the hackathon entries and provide their judging panel judge score, which, as I want to remind everybody, was combined 50-50 with a community vote that happened on the thank you Voltron voting channel, which we took and voting ended at 11:59 p.m. UTC yesterday. And so we took the numbers from that time and added it to the judging scores to get the final scores. So if anyone has other things to add here before I announce the results, feel free to hop in.
There's any
Otherwise,
graphics or stuff that we could show on the streams that we have going right now? Because me and Hefe are both streaming this to Twitter / Twitch, I think, right?
Yeah.
sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you have like any graphics, like images that I can show or like on our streams because we're live streaming this?
Oh shoot, I don't think I prepared that. Sorry about that. I'll make sure I get that up for next time. But yeah, we don't have anything to share at this point, but I can give the exciting results when we're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And friends, if you're part of the tab team or you're part of this initiative and you do happen to have some things you'd like to share visually, please feel free to drop them in the chat there, and we'll try and get them up on stream as well.
Yeah, I mean, if any of the hackathon participants, especially once we announce the results, in the TY voting, Voltron voting channel, there's also links to their videos, which I think is something that I think everyone should take a look at if you haven't already. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, without further ado, why don't I start with the fourth placed project? Does anyone have a drum roll?
Cue the drum roll.
This is the drum roll. Well, number 4 is from our friend Alvi Chainmon. So congrats to Alvi and Chainmon. That was some of the feedback that we got, and this was the Pokemon style game, and that was the comments we got. Some of the comments we got from the judges. Interesting concept. Single player mode would be great. I think it was a really interesting project and a great effort, and that is and congratulations, Alvi. In third place by Mikey J, Gotchi Deal Club. Gotchi Deals Club. So that was a online platform. Some of the comments we received from the judges were, very helpful tool for the bazaar, and overall great project. All right, and so number 2, second place, the first runner-up is submitted by Crypto-Gotchi. Congrats, Crypto-Gotchi, in his game, The 10th Game. If you haven't already, you got to read that lore. Really amazing. So one of the some feedback we got from the judges, amazing that a VR game managed to be made. And yeah, take a look at the video. There you go. Crypto-Gotchi posted some screenshots in the chat. And finally, by Fifu and PG, number 1 project. Congratulations, Gotchi Swap, which is an OTC trading platform, and really well done. Judges comments include, I think functionality wise it's very good and much needed in the community. So that is the Voltron Hackathon powered by Thank Aavegotchi. And that concludes season 2 of Thank Aavegotchi. We're really excited to be already in season 3. So and some really exciting stuff is happening in season 3. I want to take a second to just talk about. The first is a marketing push for the hackathon and its projects, right? Because what we wanted to do this season, last season, was focus on the builders, and we were able to do that with the builders, hand in hand with the tab and the builders, to do that. And we want to make sure that the great work that has been done by FIFU, PG, Crypto, Gotchi, Mike, J, Alvi are showcased to the broader Web3 world, because it's particular community incredible. And we do events, we do contests. We call them moonshots. We love with a lot of our communities, and the level of dev competency at Aavegotchi is just incredible. I have to say. And so the marketing push is it will be rewarded in season 3. We are having some of the, or all, potentially all of the submissions, the MVP submissions, the people who submitted them, create Twitter threads. Those Twitter threads will be posted. Links will be posted on the Thank Aavegotchi website at app.thrivecoin.com, and you will be rewarded for retweeting them. And so we'll send those out. You'll see those listed in the app on app.thrivecoin.com in the coming days. We also have a host of new season 3 contributions that are coming online in the coming days, and a lot of them will relate to stuff that's very important to Aavegotchi, the Aavegotchi community. But I will leave that until a later time to announce. But the biggest thing about season 3, which I think is going to be really cool, is our move to a rarity farming type reward structure. So, as you know, season 1 was a raffle. Season 2 was direct distribution of Ghost, and for season 3, we're mixing it up, trying something new. Because that's what we do in Web3. We experiment and we learn. But I think this one's going to be really exciting for this community in particular. We have moved the rewards to a point system that will then get folks who complete those contributions on a leaderboard. And we will then, through a rubric that will be posted, reward the leaderboard in a way that is like rarity farming. It's not going to look exactly like rarity farming as the Aavegotchi community currently uses in its leaderboard for its rarity farming leaderboard, but something like it. And so I think a couple of things this does is just add this level of gamification that is super exciting, but also it really incentivizes folks that are contributing to the DAO, contributing to Aavegotchi, contributing to the community to really push them up and reward them for doing the good work that they do. So so that's the main thrust of what I wanted to say today. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to having other folks join in, and I know we have members of the Voltron team on the call, on the stage here. So I'll hand it back to you, Hefe.
Absolutely. Thank you for going through all that and, leading on this. The meetings sound like they were very productive, and some of the, all the ones I've seen here have been incredible. I know we have Mikey J and Crypto-Gotchi here, and FIFO as well here with us. So, I'd like to give you guys an opportunity to maybe speak on your project a little bit, whether, what inspired you to make that, or, maybe some challenges that you had to overcome, because these are all really great, well put together projects. So maybe we can start with, Crypto-Gotchi, and if you'd like to share your experience a little bit, you're welcome to.
Sure. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I thought about I wanted to participate in the hackathon, but I didn't really know what I should do. So I just started at the law, and I posted a link to where you can download the game. The current version is still a little buggy, but next week I'll be releasing a much more stable version with most, if not all, of the bugs gone. And yeah, so I was coming at it from a standpoint of the Aavegotchi lore, which is so awesome. And I thought about, it has been explored from a lot of different angles, but when we summon a Aavegotchi from a portal, why are there 10 Aavegotchis inside? And how did they get there? And yeah, what happens? How does it happen? So I came up with a little story that I think fits pretty well into what was already established. And basically, well, I don't want to spoil it, but obviously it involves games. So I thought, okay, let's make one of those games that happens actually inside of the Portal network. And yeah, so I thought, okay, what's a small game that someone can make with limited time? And I thought about, well, okay, I really like table tennis, so let's make a little 2-player table tennis game. And it wasn't so little; it was quite challenging. It was my first time working with netcode for entities, which is a Unity package to handle netcode in their new entity component system style of programming. It had a very steep learning curve, and that is why there are still so many bugs. But yeah, I've been figuring it out. I plan to update it, and yeah, once I have a really stable version released and the DAO likes it, who knows? Maybe I'll even make a proposal to develop it further out. I think it's a really good opportunity to for a tutorial series, because it incorporates a lot from how to make a Unity project, how to make a VR project, how to connect Web3, and all this stuff. So yeah, hoping that this won't be the last you've heard of this project. And thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about frameworks within Aavegotchi DAO and developing games, it reminds me of one of the earliest kind of Flappy Bird frameworks for learning how to create a game on Phaser. And so, something like that could be really, I think people would embrace that. A Unity kit, being able to take this, bring this game to life and learning the Unity packages and how to create these games along the way. And what a great lore that you've tied into this as well. It's really interesting. I didn't really get the title at first with the 10th game, but now it totally makes sense. So yeah, thank you for putting that together. Really well done. I totally agree with Mikey J's comment there. It's total feel seeing the cute Gotchis bounce the ping pong balls back and forth.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have Mikey J, and you've created an interesting project as well. So I'll give you a chance to speak on that and yeah, share with the DAO.
Hello, GM. So yeah, so this project for me was kind of a marriage of two things that I really love, which is data, numbers, and getting a good deal. So something I actually was thinking about for a while in the hackathon, which is kind of like the little kick in the butt. I needed to spend some time to work on it, and I really enjoyed working on it. And really, the idea here is to help people kind of sort through all of the listings on the bazaar and sort of give visibility to some of the deals that might be fitting for them. That might be the best deal, and even for sellers to look and see where items are currently priced and how that fits relative to past prices. So the whole thing's basically powered by an algorithm that compares the current price of the wearable to past prices, and then it does a lot of sort of back testing and things like that across past listings to kind of decide, where this deal sits relative to recent purchases that have been made on the bazaar. So it's a good start. I actually have a lot of ideas for where the project could go from here. One of the big things I want to do, but just really wasn't feasible to do in the scope of the hackathon, was to incorporate some machine learning, which would allow for price prediction for Aavegotchis, which are much more complex than wearables because of all the different factors involved in pricing an Aavegotchi. So I think if I continue to develop this, and which is something I'm interested in doing, if people are sort of interested in using it, that would kind of be a next step, would be adding Aavegotchis, and then also adding things like Discord alerts that could ping you in Discord when certain types of deals come up. Maybe even allowing people kind of like log in with their wallet and set up different types of alerts they'd like to get. With the overall goal of just bringing visibility and activity and interest to the bazaar. And, a lot of us who are a little more tech savvy and can write our own subgraph queries and stuff like that have access to a lot of, information and data parsing that isn't necessarily available to those who don't have that skill. So I thought this was a nice way to kind of give everyone a little dashboard. You can kind of check it every day, see if there's any deals that interest you, and sort of use it like that. So, I'm hoping the community gets some good use out of the prototype. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I talk about in the About tab about how the algorithm could be improved and how machine learning techniques could be used to make it more accurate and to expand it to other types of assets like Aavegotchis and realm parcels and things like that. So if anyone has any questions, suggestions, feel free to reach out to me, and love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, you had a statistic tool before that was really, it democratized that subset of information, and so this is doing something similar, making this information available to some of us less tech savvy folks. So this is definitely a DApp I'll be using when I'm browsing the bazaar. And
Nice.
thank you for making this.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
All right. Next up, we have FIFO here. And FIFO, you have PG up here as well. And so you guys created a really interesting project. This will probably, hopefully, mitigate some of the scams and stuff that happened in the past, right? We always talk about after the fact, well, we could use an OTC platform. Someone needs to build this OTC platform, and here you guys are. So give the floor to you, and maybe you can share with us a little bit about your project.
Thank you, Efe. First, I just wanted to say to Crypto-Gotchi that I really like this project, and I'm looking forward to do QA with him if he needs, as I said already, because I get the gears for that, and I was really impressed by this thing, because I know nothing about Unity, so I'm always impressed when I see someone doing stuff like that in such a short period of time. And for the OTC project, I think most of the credits goes back to PG, because he had the original ID quite some time ago, and we met through the Gotchi Farming Guild, like 2 years ago or something like that, and we talked about that for quite some time. Like there was possibility to do something, but we never started it. And then the Voltron Hackathon came, and we decided it was a nice shot, and we decided to go for it. And that's basically what happened. And now we will see what the community needs, and we try to adapt the project in order to fit the needs of the Aavegotchi OGs and all the community. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. PG, you have anything to add there?
Thank you, Fifu. It was really fun to work on this project with you, and in fact, you encouraged me. You're the one who said, "Hey, let's do this for Voltron," and it went way beyond what we initially thought already. So I think like it speaks to the value of having those hackathons, because it's really motivating. It was really fun to work with all the participants. I'm really impressed by all the projects, and yeah, I think thanks for everyone who participate in organizing it. The voter, the judges, really appreciate it.
Yeah. And one last thing to Cododan, I'm coming to the SmartCon in Barcelona, and I'm very excited to know that I will see
Cool, man.
firsthand some of the great alphas regarding the games to come.
Awesome.
Can't
Yeah,
wait.
that's yeah, we haven't gotten too vocal with that, but if anyone, we're gonna make an announcement probably next week or the week after. If anyone is interested, we will be probably doing some sort of meetup in Barcelona around SmartCon during the day. Maybe going to a cafe or like a hacker space or something, and showing some previews of the games after the pre-game event ends. So if you guys are interested in and you'll be in Barcelona, feel free to reach out to myself or either of the directors. Yeah, and
Awesome.
I will be a speaker at SmartCon as well as Nigel, our CMO.
That's very cool. Thanks.
Man, the Gotchi devs killed it, man. I mean, this is something. This I feel a certain energy here. You know, with the devs sharing everything, y'all appreciating not only the projects you know that they built, but also the devs appreciating the knowledge that was you know created about throughout this process. So I'm looking forward to seeing more like this. What are you guys' thoughts on hackathons in the future? Do you have any specific anybody that participated in this? Do you guys have any specific thoughts to hackathons in general? And should Aavegotchi DAO be embracing more of these? Like, how did you find it being a participant?
That's funny
Oh,
because we
we
were
have
talking
thoughts.
about it in another channel. Oh, sorry, crypto-gotchi, please go on.
No, sorry for interrupting. I was just saying, oh, we have thoughts.
Yeah, we have talked. We were talking a separate channel about it with Mikey G, PG, crypto-gotchi, myself, and some others. And yeah, so we have some ideas, but we still need to discuss a bit, and then we try to come out
Yeah.
with something more with more thoughts. Right
Ooh.
now, it's a bit raw, I would say.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for hackathons for Aavegotchi moving forward, just to sort of support developer engagement in the protocol and maybe even as a vehicle to attract more developer talent to the protocol, which would be nice as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing, where it grows and evolves from here.
Yeah, and I have to say, you guys, you've inspired even someone like me with very basic, uh, Python and JavaScript skills have maybe put some energy in me to attempt something for the next time around. So I'm sure I'm not the only one in the room right now that's feeling that way. So you guys have really led on this initiative, and really appreciate you doing that. And I think you've inspired others to join you on that ride the next time around. So looking forward to that alpha. I guess
Yeah,
it's
let
under
the fun
wraps for now.
continue.
If and again, I just wanted to thank everybody here and ThriveCoin and thank Aavegotchi are here to help in whatever way, shape, or form. And our goal is to help build communities and reward people for doing good work. And if we can be part of that, that'd be great. And thanks again before I jump off the stage for having me up here. I really appreciate you all for letting me come and say hello.
Absolutely. Always welcome. Again, always welcome to come up here and share your projects if you're making progress on something you started here and in the future would like to be on a DAO call and, give us an update. I would love to have you guys up here and share that with everybody. So, yeah, appreciate y'all. Grateful for all of y'all. And I think that's it. That's a wrap for our meeting here today. We didn't get to the mission vision or maybe no futuristic. If you'd like to touch on some of your thoughts on the running pops game, I know that's coming up. We can maybe hit on that, and then we can call it a wrap.
Yeah, I'll be brief. We'll probably just use Thrivecoin if that works. If the Thank Aavegotchi, if that fits in. But I need to get more information from Goop, so just keep it on the radar. Their season is probably going to start within the next 2 or 3 weeks, though, so we have to kind of think about that.
Okay, so there's a little bit of time for coordination, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't need, like, ideally we won't, like, I prefer not to go the route of having to get money from the treasury. If there's like allocation from Thank Aavegotchi, that would be great, but I don't know. Goobs would have more like insight on what like sustainable rewards are to encourage the type of players we're trying to get to win the 2 Bitcoin prize would be.
Well, and there's also the ATF. I know, maybe not the precise use case for what the 100K Ghost is meant for, but it is there to fund events and to fund prize pools. So that money has been already earmarked to fund prize pools. Maybe we'll reconnect with some of the folks at the ATF, or if it's a fairly silent group, maybe it's time to reinvigorate that and maybe get behind some sort of initiative like this. For sure.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll talk to Goobs.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, I think that's a wrap for this weekend, friends. Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday. Do we have a Thrive meeting on Monday coming up?
Yeah, we sure do. I mean, we can keep it short, but we can definitely be on there.
Okay, awesome. And it's also my birthday on Monday, so I'm gonna look forward to that myself. I'm entering my 30s now, so that's something new for me.
Happy birthday.
Just a number though, right? In Web3. All right, friends. That's all I have here for today, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, the 30s portal, absolutely. Bunch of surprises there. All right. Yeah, totally. I feel like an adult. It's weird. Yeah. Oh man. I hope you all have a good week. Enjoy your week. We're gonna sign off here, and peace out, friends.